Hello everybody, my name is Basebane and welcome to episode 9 of Base Survival. So today we have some really exciting things planned. We're getting ready to fight the dragon. We won't be fighting him today, but we have a lot of work to do if we're going to go to the end. So we need to find the stronghold. 2, we need to make sure we have rockets. So that involves making sure we have a sugarcane farm and a constant source of gunpowder. We're thinking a general mob farm, but let's see what we can get into. But first, let's locate the stronghold. So you just throw it, and we gotta watch where it goes. Okay, towards your house.
Alright, here we go.
Let's say we walk to the village and we toss another one.
Okay.
Wouldn't it be like crazy if it's like right underground here or something?
That would be crazy, there's no way.
That would be kind of sick, to be honest. You want to throw the next one?
Sure.
See where it is. Oh!
Where'd it go?
Under here. It just went like underneath this fountain. So then we started digging and digging and digging some more until we finally found it. I found it.
Ooh!
We then continued to raid the end stronghold, obviously running into a few mobs, but they were no issue. And just like that, we found the end portal room. Look at it. There's a slime in there, but we'll take care of him quickly. Goodbye, slime. I can't express how excited I am to have an end portal this close to our home base. That's amazing. Okay, we got 11 Eyes of Ender we need. Let's destroy this. Perfect. We will put the last one in when we come back.
Okie dokie.
Now we mark the spot directly above the portal, so when we return, we can easily make a direct pathway down to the end stronghold. With the stronghold located, it's now time to move on to the next steps of our process. We found a plot of land right next to the iron farm, and here we're going to actually be building a different farm than mentioned before. So, we need to get more sugarcane. I could build a giant sugarcane farm, but instead I think I want to do a micro sugarcane farm. Micro sugarcane farms are powered by bone meal, so we're going to make a bone meal farm. This farm is actually going to be a moss farm with composters beneath it, but it's going to give us tons and tons of bone meal. We're going to build this farm deep underground beneath the spruce logs I have behind me. Alright, so let's go ahead. We have a big hole to dig, and we'll bring you back when it's done. You can see we're putting in some good work here where the moss farm is going to be. We've made a soul sand elevator and a little drop chute. That way we can get down here much quicker. Emma's also working on the floor. Now it's time for me to gather some materials for the actual moss farm. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and you guys are going to come in whenever the moss farm is built. Let's go! There it is. That is the moss farm, aka our bone meal source. So, the way this works is there are 4 stone generators, and they all slowly feed into this platform. There's a piece of moss under there that gets bone mealed, and whenever it bone meals, it will turn that stone layer into moss. Those pistons will then break it. As these ones push in, it'll also break the moss. They get picked up by these hopper minecarts and drop down here. Now, if you go down here, I currently have it set up so it only is making bone meal. So it'll take all of those drops, every single piece of moss, moss carpet, everything, and it'll compost it. And then you get absolutely insane amounts of bone meal, and it's self-perpetuating. So once you get those, if I put in like 9, I think I had like maybe 9 stacks, maybe 12 stacks of bone meal, and it made this much. So you can imagine that bone meal is no longer an issue. It's incredible, and it's super exciting. There's also something else that I've been working on that I want to show you. Let's head there now. Alright, now you might notice something a little bit different. Our super smelter is a very different style. As I was perusing some Minecraft videos, I came across this super smelter design. This design is by Prowl8413. I watched his video and I was just utterly impressed, and so I had to build it here. I think it's amazing. I'll leave a link to that video in the description, but it's super efficient. By using a minecart with a chest, we can actually fit 27 different lava buckets in here. So what we did is we made 27 furnaces, So that way, as it goes by, it's going to deposit exactly one lava bucket into each furnace. And then when it returns, it's done. It's super simple. You just plop them in here, send it off, and then it'll automatically return. And since we turned it back off again, it'll just stay there and wait for us to refill it. The top one works the same. Actually, I'll show you guys how this works. I bought a bunch of items I need to smelt. So we'll just throw in all of this cobblestone. Now I've already distributed buckets of lava before this. You can see they're all primed, ready to go. And then we'll just send that on its way. They'll all slowly ignite. And then it's just going to go back and forth until all the items are evenly distributed. So I'll just have to kind of keep an eye on that to see when it's actually emptied out. We'll wait for it over here. If I ever want to find out, I can just turn it off. Say, hey, okay, that's how many we've distributed. Send it back off again. And because we have hoppers, it's all going to automatically just drop off right in here. And yeah, it's going to be pretty consistent. We're going to get essentially 27 items at a time. This is something I want to like be very, very honest about. Sometimes you'll come up with something and it's a cool design in the moment. It works really, really well and you're really happy with it. But then you'll come across something that's super simple and super efficient. And you know what? It's okay. It's okay to recognize that, hey, this is a better design. Let's build that instead. And I actually got a bunch of resources back that I can now put to other projects that are up in those chests. So overall, I'm really happy. We're always learning something new here in Minecraft. We're always learning the best ways to do things. And I wanted to share that with you guys as well. There is probably a use case for my design on like a super large scale. Like if you were to make like anything larger than 27 furnaces, then I would probably try to use my design and then just expand upon it. I think it would work perfectly for that, just to make sure that every furnace gets a lava bucket and they get them evenly. But again, we don't need that at this stage. We'll probably end up building that eventually, so I'm really happy we designed the other one. But this is really going to cover the majority of our needs. Now that we have completed the moss farm and the bone meal farm, the next thing we need to do is put that bone meal to use. So let me show you something. So right here, I went ahead and I built 2 micro farms. So one is a micro bamboo farm and one is a micro sugarcane farm. So sugarcane obviously is going to be used, that way we can very easily make paper, which will then be made into rockets. The bamboo, we're going to use that to help us make a ton of scaffolding, because we need scaffolding to make our mob farm. Our mob farm is really like the last step, the last thing we really need to be able to get a bunch of gunpowder and a bunch of other really useful drops before we take on the dragon. So let's go ahead and scope out a place to put this general mob farm, and when we find it, I'll bring you there. Alright, so I found this nice little ocean biome here. It's kind of nested between a couple mountains. So yeah, here's our little area. This is going to be our little drop collection spot. Now I just need to get to building. The general mob farm is complete. I just jumped off the top after completing the construction. Now we're going to go up, we're going to use it for a while, and let's see what we get. Alright, so I have been AFKing here for a little bit. I have the machine currently turned off. But look at this loot. I've kind of organized it a little bit. Plenty of gunpowder, plenty of bones, arrows, I mean, rotten flesh, I guess if you want that. Then a lot of other items here. These were all the other unstackable items, and I was impressed. We got a diamond helmet, which is, I feel like, pretty rare. Protection 2 and breaking 2, honestly, just a good starter diamond helmet. Overall, though, for just having one layer on this thing, it's pretty good. There's a creeper in there now. Okay, he gone. This episode has been an absolute grind. We've done a ton of farms. These are going to help make the rest of the series a lot easier, a lot more fun. Next episode, we are gonna fight the dragon. We have some cool builds planned for the future as well, so stick around. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, that way you can see what we're gonna do. And comment if you want to let me know anything. If you have any suggestions or good ideas, just say so. For now, I'm going to AFK here a bit, and we'll see you next episode. Bye!